All right, so I wanted to hop on. Happy Friday. Let me know if you guys can hear me. My name's Shannon. If you're new here, if you're not new here, and I've been wanting to do this video for a couple days to help people with dealing with debt collectors on the phone, particularly right now because everybody's getting different monies coming in, whether it be from stimulus, different assistance programs, and oftentimes people don't always know what to do. They just don't. So I wanted to put together a quick video to help you with dealing with debt collectors on the phone because they're going to start calling. If it's not during tax time, they're going to call whenever they think stimulus money is coming in, whenever they think that you might be getting some sort of assistance because they're doing their jobs. Debt collectors get paid based off what they close on. That's how they get paid. That's how they get commissions. So when I was a debt collector, because I used to do debt collections at the apartment complex I used to work for, my thought process was when they get paid, I get paid. And when I get paid, my kids can eat. So you already know where that's going. So even though I was successful at collecting debt, I was not rude about it. Now, some debt collectors are rude and obnoxious about it. So this video is not going to be getting into the debt collectors and what they can and can't do as far as them threatening to kill your dog or steal your kids or sitting out in front of your house, because these are all stories that everybody has heard. But what we will discuss are 4 tips that I recommend that you should do if you're going to deal with a debt collector. So if you guys, as you come on, if you come into this live while I'm teaching it, do me a solid, say hello, let me know you can hear me, and then be sure to share it with a few of your friends so that they can get the help that they need as well. So the first tip that I recommend, or the first thing that I suggest to people when you're dealing with a debt collector on the phone, is never confirm ownership of the debt over the phone. There's a few reasons why. One, if a debt collector gets a debt, there's some times where debt collectors will just buy old debts. Typically, that's how it goes. They just buy old debts. And then some debt collectors or some debt collector companies get the accounts because you might have a business that sends the account because that's just a part of their standard operation. Like when you don't pay for 30 days, they send it to a debt collection company. But then you have those who are just like, look, we'll buy all your old debts. Just send them us. We'll buy all your old debts. They'll buy them for pennies on the dollar, and then they attempt to collect. The problem with that is sometimes they will add on additional fees. They don't always have the correct balances. They don't always have the information, and you didn't agree to pay them. I'm just saying that these are things that come up. So you don't want to confirm ownership of a debt over the phone because it could be a different person too. There's another person with my name. I didn't have the name until I got married, right? But when I became Shannon Payton, then I became the same name as another person. So I got called about her stuff, and, you know, it could work either way. So you don't want to confirm the debt over the phone. Now, as you guys come on, do me a solid. Say hey. Let me know you're here with me. Feel free to drop your questions. I will answer them as we go throughout. I know some of you guys may be at work, so we're going to consider this as like a lunch and learn. So thanks for joining me, okay? So you don't want to confirm your debt over the phone. The second thing is you don't want to verify your information over the phone because, again, if this is a scam, then you're giving them everything they need to be successful in scamming you, okay? So don't be naive, all right? So when a debt collector calls, they're going to say, hey, this is an attempt to collect the debt. Any information used on this call will be used to basically get the monies, okay? So what you want to do is if they call, and here's what they do. Hey, Shannon? Yes. So they know it's you. They know it's your number. And I really hate it when people do that. So that's even why in my own thing. But I used to use that myself when I was a collector. I'd be like, hey, John. And he'd be like, hey. And I'd be like, hey, this is Shannon from such and such. You know, I'm calling on behalf of the debt that you have. And that's just the way to establish relationship or commonality to get you to go with it. Like anybody who's in sales, they'll tell you, you get people on a roll of yes, then the answer will probably still keep being yes. Right? So anyway, they teach you the same thing when you get into, they don't send you to debt collector school, but it's the same concept. Okay? So you don't want to verify your information, date of birth, social, whatever it might be, because the reality is this is all the information that they need to verify who you are to successfully report the debt to your credit report or to successfully get to you via garnishment, via job to get the information that's necessary. I know because and I've said this before, if you ever caught this video from me or anything where I've touched on this, I've used this information before to find people. We can find where you work because you put it on your Facebook. You have LinkedIn. We look in the court system. There's ways to verify you without verifying you. All right. So that's the thing. And then, like I said, people scam. You don't want to get scammed. You don't want to give the keys to the scammer. Here, come on in, Mr. Scammer. Good luck. Have fun. All right. So step 3 is if you think that it's a debt that you owe or whatever it might be, you can easily say to the debt collector, hey, Mr. Debt Collector, or whomever, the information, I don't recall this debt. The information that you have on the file, you can send it to the address that you have on file. And when they do that, and if you receive it, then step 4 is respond accordingly. Okay. So when you get those letters, especially if you know that it's verified and it comes with the additional information to show proof that you were the person who actually had the debt, then do your due diligence and either set up a payment arrangement, or if you don't know, if you question it, if you question the balance, if you question the collection company, if you question even anything about it, dispute it. Dispute it. It is not complicated. Get out a good old pen and piece of paper, write down the account number, write your name, respond to the email. Okay, respond and tell them, look, I dispute this for whatever reason. It's not mine. The balance is wrong. This was not true. This ain't what I did. Whatever the case might be, you can dispute it. Okay, any debt collector who's sending you a debt notice is called a dunning letter. So whenever a debt collector gets a new account, excuse me, they're supposed to, whenever they get a new account, they have to send you something called a dunning letter. Dunning, D-U-N-N-I-N-G, a dunning letter. And what that dunning letter, they're supposed to send it within like 5 days. And when they do, they are going to have like your information, the original account holder, the account number with the collection agency, the balance, what the debt is from. If they're not providing you with all that information, then you need to dispute it because they're not providing everything that needs to be provided. Okay. That's that. When they send you that dunning letter, it says right on there, this is an attempt to collect the debt, but they have to give you 30 days before they report it to the credit bureau. So you have that 30-day window to dispute the debt before it hits your credit report. And what'll happen is half the time people will get the letter in the mail and they'll be like, yeah, and they just ignore it. The longer you ignore your debt, the worse it's going to get. Because you're going to have to, when you decide, if you should decide at any time in your life, today, tomorrow, next week, next year, hey, I want to purchase a home. You're going to have to address the debt. Yes, you can buy a house with student loan debt. Yes, you can buy a house with credit card debt. Yes, you can buy a house and own a car or owe a car. Yes, you can buy a house with medical debt, a limited amount if that medical debt is not impacting your credit score. But the trade-off is that they're not going to allow excessive debt. They're not going to allow like open lines of collections that are over a certain amount of money. They're just not going to do it. They're not going to loan you money if you have collections from banks, if you have charge-offs and collections from credit cards. Well, not charge-off, but collections from credit cards. If you have evictions on your record, if you have these different things, they're not going to approve it because it's determined by your credit report. Remember, character score, that you're not likely to pay your debts on time. So the purpose of this is for you to not be afraid to look and respond to these debt collectors, because you're going to need to at some point in time. Okay. So if you need assistance with it, then, hopefully this video will help. But if not, and you feel like you need a little bit more deeper help, I attached the link. We have a DIY credit repair book. And if you don't want to do that, you can check on there. We have a credit repair kit, which has like 7 different videos. And we really break it down. Like I show you how to read a credit report. I show you what to do on the response times for our credit repair kit, which is like a 7-part series. And then if you're not quite that, wanting to do the videos, and you can do our ebook, which is called our Fix Your Credit ebook, and that's going to be available to you. And if for some reason you don't want to do none of that, then you can schedule a consultation with us for free, and we can evaluate your credit report and provide you with a list of what we see that's wrong, as long as you provide your credit monitoring. But we're here to help you do what you got to do. Are lenders able to see your disputes, and does the dispute have an effect on the lender's decision? So lenders are able to see if an account is in a dispute status because the credit bureau, when you dispute an account, it says underneath the comments, dispute, under dispute. And it does have an impact on the lender's decision, because if it's in dispute status, then the lender's not going to be able to respond to your debt or to your lending request. So that's why when we tell people, or for me, whenever I work with somebody, I'm like, we have to make sure that you're out of dispute status so that they can legitimately do the work. Do we have any other questions? Because I'm here to answer them, and now's the time to ask them. Because I do want to be able to, you know, like I said, assist as many people as we can in these processes, because how do you know? One, my thing is educated consumers make better decisions. And how can you make a better decision if you don't know how? And if you're not asking, then I don't know how to help you help yourself, right? So I know there's a delay here on the feed. So I'll give it a couple minutes and you guys can drop your questions. We were discussing ways to handle a debt collector. So just as a recap, while you're posting your questions, the top four go-to steps to deal with a debt collector is to never confirm ownership of a debt over the phone. You do not verify your information over the phone. 1, people scam. 2, I went into it earlier in the video, so catch the replay if you're logging in at the end. Ask the caller. 3, ask the caller to send the information on the debt to the address on file. They have access to it. A lot of collection companies use skip tracing. They can find you. Trust me, you're not hiding. You're not hiding. I don't care how many times you change your number. You're not hiding. Okay. And then 3, when you get it, respond accordingly. Okay. If you're not sure how to do that, then we're here to help. We offer credit repair services. This video is another way. Or you can check out the link above and you can go into our DIY store and you can select the options that'll work best for you. So again, my name is Shannon. If you're new here, or if you're watching a replay, or if this is shared, I specialize in helping credit challenged individuals become mortgage ready, and then helping you with purchasing or selling your home. I'm able to do that as I'm a licensed realtor with the state of Delaware, as I've been since 2015. With eXp Realty here in Delaware. And I've also had years of experience with credit collection, as well as housing counseling and credit counseling as well. So show love to your friends. As I said, educating consumers every day for better decision making. Be sure to share this. If you're catching a replay, #replay, drop your questions and I'm happy to answer them. You guys have an awesome Friday, and don't forget to check out the store. Thanks.